Hormonal imbalance. Why so many Indian women are feeling off. More and more Indian women today are experiencing signs that something's just not right. Irregular periods, unexpected weight gain, constant tiredness, mood swings, and more. These symptoms often point to hormonal imbalances, a growing yet under-discussed health issue. Despite how common these problems are, awareness is still lacking, especially in rural areas, and many women go undiagnosed for years. What is hormonal imbalance? Hormones are your body's messengers. Produced by glands like the thyroid, ovaries, and adrenal glands, they help control everything from mood and metabolism to sleep and reproduction. A hormonal imbalance occurs when these messengers are produced in too little or too much quantity, or when their signals get disrupted. The result, a ripple effect that can throw off your body's normal functions. Some of the most common hormone-related conditions among Indian women include PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, thyroid disorders, and menopausal transitions. Each comes with its own set of challenges and affects women differently based on age, genetics, and lifestyle. How common are hormonal imbalances in India? From PCOS in young adults to thyroid issues and menopause-related struggles, data reveals that these aren't isolated health problems. They are affecting millions across age groups and geographies. Here's a closer look at the key conditions and what the numbers say. Polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS). PCOS tops the list when it comes to hormonal disorders among Indian women aged 1,545. A 2023 study in the Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism estimates that 922 of women in this age group are affected, with urban areas seeing rates as high as 26. The condition is marked by excess androgens, male hormones, irregular periods, and ovarian cysts. It can lead to infertility, acne, and hirsutism, excessive facial body hair. The same study also highlights that 3,040 of women with PCOS in India have insulin resistance, making them more vulnerable to type 2 diabetes and heart issues. Worth noting, while genetics are involved, poor diet, lack of physical activity, and exposure to environmental triggers like pollution may be increasing the risk. However, more India-specific research is still needed. Thyroid disorders. Thyroid issues, especially hypothyroidism, when the thyroid gland doesn't make enough thyroid hormones to meet your body's needs, are another widespread concern. According to a 2021 study in the Journal of Clinical and Diagnostic Research, about 1,015 of Indian women face thyroid dysfunction, with hypothyroidism being more common than an overactive thyroid. Fatigue, depression, and unexplained weight gain are often brushed off as lifestyle problems but can signal deeper hormonal issues. The study also notes higher prevalence in coastal and iodine-deficient regions like parts of North India. Important detail: autoimmune thyroid disorders like Hashimoto's are on the rise too, possibly due to urban stress and lifestyle shifts. Menopause and perimenopause. Menopause is a natural hormonal shift that happens between the ages of 45 and 55, but the symptoms often start earlier, during perimenopause. A 2022 study in the Journal of Midlife Health found that 6,070 of Indian women experience noticeable symptoms like hot flashes, disturbed sleep, and mood changes during this transition. Unfortunately, due to cultural silence around menopause, many suffer without proper help, especially in rural areas where awareness and access to treatment are limited. Key issue: hormone therapy (HRT), which can ease severe symptoms, is rarely used in India due to its cost and stigma. Other hormonal disorders less frequent, but still impactful, are conditions like Cushing's syndrome or Addison's disease. A 2020 review in the Indian Journal of Medical Research estimates that about 12 of Indian women are affected by such adrenal disorders, which can cause major fatigue, blood pressure changes, and abnormal weight gain or loss. Why are hormonal imbalances so common now? Hormonal issues are rising fast, and it's not just genetics. Urban stress, poor diets, lifestyle shifts, and environmental factors are throwing things off balance. Lifestyle and urbanization. Urban life has brought convenience but also complications. A 2023 study in the Lancet Regional Health Southeast Asia found that obesity is rising rapidly among urban Indian women, with 2,530 now classified as overweight or obese. Sedentary routines, processed foods, and chronic stress are major triggers, especially for PCOS and thyroid issues. Genetic and environmental factors. Genetics does play a big role. A 2021 article in the Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism pointed out that South Asian women, including Indians, are more genetically prone to insulin resistance and PCOS. On the environmental front, exposure to endocrine-disrupting chemicals in everyday items like plastic containers and pesticides may also be influencing hormone health. However, more data is needed in the Indian context. Dietary shifts were slowly shifting from traditional Indian meals full of fiber, legumes, and home-cooked veggies to fast foods and sugary snacks. A 2022 study in nutrition and diabetes links poor diets and micronutrient deficiencies like lack of iodine or magnesium to rising rates of PCOS and thyroid issues. Stress and mental health. The non-stop pace of urban life is taking its toll. Chronic stress triggers high cortisol levels, which can mess with insulin, thyroid, and reproductive hormones. According to a 2020 survey by the Indian Psychiatric Society, stress and anxiety levels in women especially during and after the pandemic are sharply rising, often making hormonal symptoms worse. Limited healthcare access in rural India, reaching the right doctor or even getting basic blood tests done is still a challenge. The National Family Health Survey 520192021 shows that while 80 of urban women have regular access to health care, only 60 in rural areas do. This gap means many cases go undiagnosed and untreated. Symptoms and impact. Hormonal imbalance symptoms are wide-ranging and often overlap with other conditions, making them hard to pinpoint. But some common ones include and these symptoms don't just affect the body, they impact mental health, work, relationships, and quality of life. A 2023 study in human reproduction found that 40 of Indian women with PCOS also struggle with anxiety or depression, especially due to fertility-related stress. Diagnosis and treatment. Getting the right diagnosis early can make a huge difference. But many women delay medical help, often due to stigma or assuming their symptoms are normal. Standard diagnostic tools include and treatment depends on the condition, but often includes NANES. A 2022 review in the Journal of Postgraduate Medicine highlights how powerful simple lifestyle changes, healthy eating, staying active, and managing stress can be in improving symptoms across the board. Challenges and the way forward. There's still a lot of stigma around talking about periods, fertility, or menopause. Many symptoms are brushed off as just part of being a woman. But this mindset delays diagnosis and treatment. To move forward, experts suggest routine screenings, especially for women with a family history of thyroid or PCOS. Lifestyle focus, encouraging regular activity and traditional balanced diets. Swipe left for next video. More awareness campaigns and open conversations to normalize hormonal health issues. Public health programs, like those led by the Indian Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, are trying to close the gap, but there's still a long way to go. Latest blogs